Hello, DigiFam. It is Prodigious, and I'm here back with my other deck profile that I promised you. Today, we're going to be going over the other half of the coin, and that is BT18's blue, purple, yellow hybrid MagnaGarurumon. Alright, let's get into it.
Thunder into light! Darkness into light! Unity, execute! Unified spirit, evolution! MagnaGarurumon!
Alright, so first up, you can see here I'm actually running a different egg. I am running the MagnaGarurumon from BT3. And you can also see on the screen here, my extra bit of spice I'm running is going to be ChuChuMon from BT14. Now, if you watch my other deck profile, you know that there is some rookies that you can run. They cost 1, and they give you dual colors. But in my play testing, I found that this deck struggles a little harder than the MagnaGarurumon deck. And I found that if I run this guy, I can go ahead and just keep him in raising, and that gives me access to the 2 other colors that I need immediately, so that way I can play the awesome option card that lets us go straight into our mega form very easily. And in the process, this guy also does have on deletion save, and he has an inheritable that says blocker. So he fulfills many roles. Usually what I'll do is I'll go ahead and play him, keep him back there, and I only push him out in raising if I'm desperate for the egg to do its thing and get popped so I can draw and discard. Otherwise, I keep it back there. Unless I do draw into a duplicate in my hand, then by all means, I'll send it out there and let it go ahead and do its little kamikaze run. But mainly, I try and keep this on hand / in the breeding area just to instantly give me access to those 2 harder to maintain colors, so that way I can for certain go into my mega via the option card like that. So, unfortunately, the spice has already been kind of ruined for this deck, but let's continue. I'm also running Flamemon. Yes, this is the MagnaGarurumon version, but this version of Flamemon from BT7 can evolve from a purple or a red egg. He also does have on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a card with hybrid or 10 warriors trait, and 1 tamer card with inherited effects. Return the rest to the bottom. Inheritable is on deletion. You can play a tamer with inherited effects from your hand without paying the cost. He is also in here because, unlike the name escapes me at the moment, the other blue hybrid rookie form that is for the blue side kind of got royally screwed over by them suddenly changing the colors to also be yellow. Because if you look closely, all the other stuff that makes up this type of deck that is supposed to be purple, yellow, and black are supposed to have the common theme of yellow. That's how your other champion forms can digivolve on top of your rookies, or at least in the mirror opposite of MagnaGarurumon's case, everything shares the common color of red. But since they decided to go ahead and change things up and make that line of level 4s for Kendo, Gururu, and Lobomon be blue and yellow only, it kind of makes it hard for your other level 4 hybrids to evolve on top of your rookies, which is also another reason why the ChuChuMon plays such a big role, because if I need to, in a desperate situation, I can go ahead and Evo any of my other upcoming champion level 4s on top of this because it will have the common colors that I need of rather black or purple. Alright, so moving forward, I am running Bokomon. The classic one from BT7 helps you dig top 5 cards, look for a Tamer and a hybrid, and if you happen to Digivolve your Tamer into a hybrid, you gain 2 memory. So that works. Now, going into the actual hybrids here, we have our level 4 hybrid of Beetlemon at 3. He can Digivolve from JP or Metal Kabuterimon, but any other black or yellow Tamer or Digimon, it costs 3. And this is what I was talking about before, the Scrappymon or whatever it was called, the blue dog. It really does escape my name in my mind right now. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to type it out for me. But he is blue, even though he can Digivolve from blue or yellow when it comes to the BT7 version. All the other previous versions Digivolve from just blue. And there's just no way of having synergy with him in this deck in the other hybrids like the Emperor Greymon does. So that's where I was struggling to try and make this deck work, because the other deck had more synergy with the other pieces. This one did not, because they decided to change up the colors on just one thing. Now, if they had given us a rookie form of this little hybrid doggo and him actually have 2 colors of blue and yellow, that would have made everything fine. But they didn't. Anyway, moving forward. So Beetlemon has, when Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't be deleted by your opponent's effects. It also has the typical humanoid hybrid effect of when attacking, it can Digivolve, it or some other Digimon or Tamer can Digivolve into a hybrid at a reduced cost. And it has the typical inheritable of all turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play 1 Tamer in its sources without paying the cost. Then we have 2 copies of Metal Kabuterimon. Can Digivolve from JP for a cost of 3 or Beetlemon for 1. It has blocker. It has on play when Digivolving, Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. Otherwise, it costs 4 to Digivolve from a black or yellow. So, yeah, you're definitely going to try to not do any of that. You're going to stick to Digivolving on top of your rookies if you really need to. But mainly, you're going to stick to the hybrids. So, yeah. Alright. Now we are running 2 copies of MagnaGarurumon. Now he is in here mainly because he says he can give you when attacking, you draw 1. And when attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into a hybrid for a reduced cost. And it also has the inheritable of when attacking, if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand, draw 1. So that works out great. We're going to mainly probably pitch this card so that we can absorb it later. But if we do happen to Digivolve into it somehow, then we'll at least get those effects off, and then when we attack, we get to go into a different hybrid, which will probably be a level 5. Now we are running 3 copies of Loemon. Digivolves from Koichi for 2, or Kaiser Leo for 0. When Digivolving, draw and trash. And another thing that made this deck a little bit different from the other one at first when I was trying to master it is I kept on going back and forth between both hybrid decks trying to get them down pat. And I would always forget that Loemon here, his effect to Digivolve when attacking says you would Digivolve into something in your trash, which is the total opposite of all the other hybrids so far. So that kind of kept on throwing me off a bit. So keep that in mind. Then we have Kaiser Leo. It can Digivolve from Koichi for 3 or Loemon for 1. It has retaliation. On play when Digivolving, delete when your opponent's level 4 or lower. And it has the inheritable of deletion. Loemon has the typical humanoid inheritable of when it leaves the battle area, you can play a Tamer. And the usual typical higher Digivolution costs, which, again, we won't do that if we can help it, but if we do, we do. Alright, now I also do have 2 copies of Lobomon in here, because again, if we need to, we can go ahead and just go straight into this on top of one of our yellow Tamers, which all of our Tamers are going to be yellow. Or we can even go into Kendo on top of one of our yellow Tamers. And then when Digivolving effect will kick in and we can go into this. But mainly it's just so we can get a little sneak peek at our security. So when Digivolving, you search your security stack and add 1 card with Hybrid or 10 Warriors trait among them. And if you added a card, recover 1. And it does give us a different hybrid name for us to soak up, as well as another inheritable of when attacking. If you have 7 or fewer cards, draw 1. Now into our level 5s, we're running 2 copies of Rhino Kabuterimon. Typical level 5 hand ability of if you have Beetlemon and Metal Kabuteri, put them underneath a black or yellow Tamer, and then Digivolve into this for 3. It also has Collision, which has come up quite a bit in a pinch, because suddenly you're swinging and able to make your opponent block when they weren't suspecting it. And on top of that, it does have, when an attack target is changed, you may unsuspend this Digimon. It has the inheritable of when attacking once per turn, while your opponent's Digimon gets -4. And then we have Rahihimon. Same hand effect, it has jamming. When Digivolving, you may play 1 Tamer with inherited effects from your trash without paying the cost. And then it also has that very same inheritable of minusing DP when attacking. And then last, for my other level 5, I'm running the old school BT7 limit 1 per deck Jet Sylphie, sort of like we did in the other deck for Emperor Greymon, because if we Digivolve on top of something that has hybrid in its traits and a Tamer underneath it, it only costs us 1 to go into this instead of 3. But yeah, when we Digivolve into this, a free recovery. I can't say no to that. Alright, now, on to the Megas. We actually have a dual pair of Megas that have synergy with each other. They're both the same dude, but each one does something different. First, we have the MagnaGarurumon that is yellow, purple, and black. This is going to be the main one you want to try and go into if you can help it. It Digivolves from Koji with 5 hybrids. Much like Emperor Greymon, it can Digivolve from a yellow, purple, or black for 5. When Digivolving and end of the opponent's turn once per turn, you may place 1 Digimon card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of your opponent's your security stack to delete all of your opponent's Digimon at the same level as the placed card. There's been games of where I actually get a duplicate level 6, or even the other MagnaGarur that we'll go over in a second, and I absorbed it into my sources because I needed to pop a level 6 and I knew it was going to come up. It also has all turns once per turn. When a Digimon attacks, not just you, but when any Digimon attacks, by adding your top security card to your hand, unsuspend this Digimon. Now he works great in conjunction with the other MagnaGarurumon that's a promo here. It has Armor Purge. When Digivolving, return 1 of your opponent's level 3, level 4, and level 5 Digimon to the hand. So it gets rid of everything except for level 6. So technically, if you go into the tricolor one first, and you can still have enough memory to maintain turn, or in certain scenarios, not Digivolve into this armor form version, you can pretty much clear the field. Well, practically. It also has End of Attack. By placing this Digimon's top card as your top security card, unsuspend this Digimon or Tamer. So that's right, you can actually go ahead and just go straight into this guy on top of your Tamer if you need to. So, yeah. But basically the combo is you want to go into this guy, the tricolor one first. You're going to want to go ahead and swing with him first, Or if you have the memory, go ahead and go into your armor form, swing with it, have the armor form go to your security, and then you can swing with this one again. So basically you can go back and forth and you'll get at least at max a 3-hit strike going on, all in the same turn. Alright, now just like the other deck, I am running a single copy of Susanamon Ace. It has the can counterblast. When digivolving and when attacking, it can pop something of 1,000 DP or 10,000 DP or more. It can also increase that by every color inside its sources. And when attacking, you can place Tamers from it to the bottom of your security to trash your opponent's security. I will say, in this version of the deck, unlike the Emperor Greymon, I have pulled off going into Susanamon using the option card so many times. Like, it has actually been a lot easier for this deck to do that versus the Emperor Greymon. Which is weird, because in most people's cases, they prefer to probably make the Emperor Greymon be the one that mainly has the Susanamon. But in this deck, the way I have it set up, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I find it a lot easier to pull off the Ruler of Destruction and Regeneration, put a bunch of Tamers underneath Susanamon, and just rejuvenate myself. Not to mention trash security. But anyway, as I mentioned, Ruler of Destruction and Regeneration lets you go ahead and place Susanamon onto one of your Tamers or Digimon from the hand of trash without paying the cost. And then by placing 4 of your Tamers with different colors as the bottom Digivolution card, one of your Susanamons for each card placed, gain memory. And all of our option cards has the same security effect of play a Tamer and then put this in your hand. The Ancient Protectors, we're running it at 2. I would love to run more if I could, but there's just no room. We use this card mainly to go ahead and play our Tamers for a cheaper cost and get back something, which it does really come in handy a lot more so in this deck than I think the other. Simply because when we get into one mega form, we want to try and have the other so we can do the whole armor thing. And this helps supplement that. Then we're running 4 copies of Darkness to Light, Thunder to Cannon. It's the option card. It's tricolor that allows us to go straight into our mega form. And this is the main reason why I choose to run Chuchumon, because once we have one of our Tamers, this option card is live. All we gotta do now is get at least 5 different hybrids, rather in hand or in trash, and then suddenly we can turn any hybrid into our mega. Alright, then we have JP. He's like the Zoe of the Emperor Greymon deck. By trashing a hybrid, you get to draw a card. So it helps you cipher through your deck a lot faster. Koichi is like the Tommy of the other deck. By trashing a hybrid, you can gain a memory. Now their inheritables is where it's different. With JP, he has, when an attack target is changed, you may play 1 Tamer with inherited effects without paying the cost. And then Koichi is, when attacking, you may return 1 card with hybrid or 10 warriors trait from your trash to your hand. And then last, we have the Takuya and Koji Memory Fixer. It's an expensive memory fixer, but it does have the ability to soak up sources underneath it. And I think I may have failed to mention this in the last deck profile video for Emperor Greymon, but it also has a great inheritable. It is end of your turn, once per turn. This Digimon with hybrid or 10 warriors trait may attack a player. So even if you pass memory, as long as you have this underneath you, you can still squeeze in a hit with your hybrids. But yes, it's pretty much a opposite mirror type of thing of Emperor Greymon. Initially, I was having issues with it. I couldn't get things going just right. I tried the blue egg. I tried the yellow egg. I tried one of the other rookies that cost 1 that came out of the set. I think it was the one that gives you blocker. I just tried all kinds of things, and then finally I realized I just need access to the 2 other colors, because everything else gives me yellow. I'm just missing purple and black. And then I realized, like, yeah, the problem is this little doggo just does not share the same colors as the other stuff like it really should. So that way my other hybrids, not just Kendo and Lobo, can digivolve from it. That's why I decided to go ahead and look into just changing up the egg in this. And then I saw, well, the new Flamemon works with purple eggs now too, so... But yes, this works a lot better, because even the other, again, I cannot remember his name, he had an inheritable that said when attacking, you can play a tamer with inheritable effects with the cost reduced by 2. So even that was kind of lackluster. But anyway, I'm rambling. This has been Prodigious with MagnaGarurumon deck profile. I hope you enjoyed. If you did and you like the surprise spice, please subscribe. Click that little bell so you don't miss any of my future content. And I will see you next time.